Hey, welcome back to The Dive. Today on the show, we have the CEO of First Phosphate, John Pasalacqua. John's here today to share his thoughts on China restricting exports of graphite and what it could mean for other minerals. He's also going to touch on the auto industry's adoption of LFP batteries and give us an update on all the exciting work that's been happening over at First Phosphate. Hey, John, welcome back to The Dive. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Cassandra.
Okay, so John, since we last talked, China has announced that they're restricting exports of graphite. What is your assessment on what's happening here? And do you think that this policy is inevitably going to spill over to other minerals?
Yeah, so no, interesting times. Obviously, it started with graphite. There was already export restrictions on phosphate. I've heard that they're starting to look at other strategic minerals as well. So yeah, we can expect it to expand and continue to expand, and phosphate being right in the middle of it as well. Absolutely.
Okay, now let's talk about First Phosphate. You recently announced a letter of interest from the Export-Import Bank of the United States. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so the Export-Import Bank of the United States is a branch of the U.S. government. They provide loans out to companies that are going to be taking on U.S. products and services. This loan is for up to $170 million US, and it allows us to import U.S. products and services in the development of our mine, starting almost immediately. Now, it's a letter of interest, and we have to sit down and we have to get it finalized, but it's very promising as a form of non-dilutive capital for the company, which allows us, to get all the way to almost the state of groundbreaking before we would need to take on additional capital.
In September, First Phosphate entered an MOU to support the production of LFP cathode active material with the American Battery Factory, Inc. Can you give us some color on the agreement?
Yeah, so like I said, now that we have a good non-dilutive financing from XM Bank, we're starting to look at actual production. So the American Battery Factory is looking to on-source a number of LFP batteries here in North America, so to produce them here in North America. And in order to do that, they need access to LFP cathode active material. They want to have a fully North American-based supply chain, so it starts with North American minerals, and obviously, phosphate is very important. And they're looking to First Phosphate to organize the production of the LFP cathode active material for them. So that's a really big business opportunity. 40,000 tons of LFP cathode active material has a value of about $500 million to $1 billion per annum, and that's just their first gigafactory that they're starting on, which they broke ground on last week.
Does the price of lithium have any impact on the price of battery grade phosphate?
Yeah, well, look, so when you're making a LFP battery, you require raw materials, which are phosphate, a source of iron, and a source of lithium. All three of those are separately priced. So, no, the price of lithium does not impact directly on the price of phosphate. However, when you make LFP battery, those three components are found in the LFP battery. They're found in the LFP powder, the LFP cathode active material. So each of them does have an impact on the price of the LFP powder. So yes, lithium would have an effect inside of the powder, but not on the phosphate itself.
The phosphate industry doesn't get talked about as much as other commodities like lithium amongst the retail investing community. How important is it for First Phosphate to play a role in highlighting the opportunity to the investor community?
Well, that's a good question, Cassandra, and I guess that's what we're exactly doing here today, is shedding a little bit of light on phosphate. I mean, the truth of the matter is you can't really create a battery until you have all the components to make a battery. If you need 10 components to make a battery, including the raw materials, and you have 9, you're still not going to make a battery. So it's really important that the community look beyond the lithium. Obviously, lithium being sometimes the most important element, but there are also many others that need to come together in order to make a battery. So all metals are important, all battery materials are important, and so they all play a role. And phosphate plays a very big role in lithium iron phosphate battery. It's the second priciest component of the battery.
What can you tell us about the auto industry's adoption of the LFP batteries?
Yeah, so they're going gangbusters in the auto industry. I mean, most of the large auto manufacturers in the US, Europe, and in Asia have now switched a portion or all of their production to LFP battery. And I think the ones who have started it have really been Tesla. Now, in North America, 50% of Teslas are on LFP battery, more or less. And the new line of light trucks will be on LFP battery. And that has really shaken things up because Tesla puts the LFP battery into their cars and they decrease the price by 15, 20,000. Now they have the Tesla. I think the Model 3, the Model Y is getting down to under $40,000 for the entire car. So that really forces everybody else to have to get their prices down too. And the only way that they can do that is through LFP battery, because LFP battery can be 50 to 66% cheaper than nickel manganese cobalt battery.
So before we let you go here, John, for investors watching, are there any timelines or milestones that they should be watching out for over the remainder of the year?
Yeah, so our next big thing is to produce purified phosphoric acid. We've completed our pilot plant. We've sent a big sample of about a ton of phosphate concentrate to Prayon, our partner in Belgium. And they've used that to create merchant-grade phosphoric acid. And now they're using it to make the second purification, which is purified phosphoric acid. Purified phosphoric acid being the precursor for LFP battery. So once we are certified that we're able to make PPA, purified phosphoric acid, from our feedstock, our phosphate concentrate feedstock, that'll be a very big milestone for the company. So look for that here in the coming weeks and months.
Okay, we definitely will. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, John, and giving us the update on First Phosphate. It's been a pleasure.
That's great. Thank you so much, Cassandra.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We will be back with more content like this. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button below me there so you don't miss out on the next one. Bye.